Hello everyone, welcome to GametechUK. In this video, which is a brief look around the PC version of Expeditions, a MudRunner game. I'm running a 4070. I'm going to show you the very basic start of the tutorials and a few of the options in the game. So let's get on with today's video. So the first part of the tutorial starts at Little Colorado and says before jumping into your first expedition, let's learn the basics of driving. So let's do just that. And like I say, Little Colorado, a very dry and barren area with quite a bit of water in it, which creates more mud and obviously perilous driving. But yeah, it's a really, really nice location actually, and very suited to expeditions. So we're going to release the handbrake and start the engine and move forward. First person view is very nice, just like SnowRunner. And you can look around, of course. I do tend to use third person in this game. I like the look of the trucks. I like seeing the tyres interact with the environment. We're just going to go up to the first mission marker. Like I say, this is just a very basic tutorial, but it shows a couple of elements of new parts of the game. So we're just going to follow the quest markers. Just coming into our headquarters, actually, which we're not going to go in there for the tutorial. But quite a nice level of detail. The sort of level of detail that we're used to in SnowRunner. Going up to the next mission marker, we go third person. I've never had a problem with the steering hands in SnowRunner. I like it. I think it looks cool. I am on controller, not steering wheel, for this particular mission. There we go. So we're going to get to the middle of the swamp and we're going to go into all-wheel drive. So we're going to hold RB and press B. So some of the controls that you're used to in SnowRunner have been sort of scattered around other menus, but the gearing is all over in RB. And we're going to press A. Obviously it goes green just like SnowRunner. And now we're in all-wheel drive. So we're going to make our way to the middle of the swamp. And what I like about this game, I mean, it never fails to impress me. We've just come from dry, sort of dusty area, and now the tyres are going to start sinking into the mud. Tyres are going to go wet. Look at the way it's sinking. It's so cool. It never fails to impress me. It really doesn't. I love it. The physics in this game it is the game, isn't it? But look at the tyres now. Look, now all the mud's starting to kick up. Very, very impressive. Very impressive. So we're going to make our way to the middle of the swamp, the marker just there. And we're getting swamped down just a little bit more. Pardon the pun. So yeah, we're going to go RB. We're going to do the manual shift into low gears and put the diff lock on. So now we've got full control now. Slow, but full control. And what I have found is, in SnowRunner, I didn't really go to low gear that much. You can sort of power your way out of most things, but low gear in Expeditions is the way to go. It really is. It gives you more control and more grip, and that's exactly what you need in a sort of barren, rock infested location such as this. But we're going to go up to inspect the lost cargo, and we've got a visual representation of the lost cargo as well. And what we're looking for is a memory card. So we're going to go into trade, and on the left is our vehicle, on the right is the stuff left behind, the resource zone. So we're going to swap that over. And now we're going to go back into manual gear, RB, move the right analog over, and reverse. So we're going to go back up and turn around, and all of our mirrors work correctly. There we go. So we're tasked with getting out of the swamp. This is a new element of gameplay and it works really, really well. It's the tyre inflation system. So what we're going to do is go down on the D-pad and you get 3 settings. So you've got normal pressure, reduced pressure and low pressure. You can see it changes visually as well. So low pressure, reduced pressure and normal pressure. We're just going to go to reduced pressure. Gives you a lot more grip. But I think the tyres and the system itself, like the differential, works. It breaks down quicker when you are using low pressure because there's got to be a trade-off. It gives you much better grip, especially when you get up to the dry rock face. Reduced pressure and low pressure is absolutely the way to go. So you can see the tyres are sort of compressing and deforming a lot more under reduced pressure. So we're just going to go up to these, stick to the dry areas as much as we can. I love the exhaust smoke as well, it's really cool. There we go. So refueling, depending on the truck that you take, you can take extra fuel with you and extra spare parts, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But with fuel, you can hold LB. So the fueling before in SnowRunner was up on the D-pad. You get the quick menu. There's quite a few of those menus. That quick menu isn't there now, but there's quite a few of those menus that have been sort of spread around the game. So in LB, we can refuel basically. So we can come up there, and again, I'm using up all the fuel on board. It just depends on what you've got on board. And I love the way you just leave the truck and it starts to sink into the mud. Such a great addition, isn't it? So we're just in normal drive at the moment. So same with spare parts as well. We can move over using the left analog and say, for example, the tyres are on 86%. If we've got the spare parts, you can repair them. You can repair them. So we've got engine is at 84%, for example. There you go, that's 100%. We can put some more gas in there. So depending on what you take with you, the sort of fixing part of your truck is all in the LB menu. Right, let's go over, drop that memory card off, and that's the first part of the tutorial done. In terms of DLC in the store, all that's available at the moment is the Year 1 pass. So if you are buying the Year 1 pass, you're going to get the Great Dawn, the Pioneer Pack, and the Cotco Canyon, which is a really good scout. The mod browser is up and running upon release. There's obviously only a very small selection at the moment, and I'm not sure if this was in SnowRunner, but there is a test area that you can test the mods out in. It's like a section of a small section from each of the different areas, sort of patchwork together, where you can test the mods. There is no co-op at launch. That is coming in a post-launch patch. Let me take you into the settings. A lot of these are very standard sort of SnowRunner options, but if you go into video, there's quite a bit in there. I've turned motion blur off, of course. You can change the field of view on first and third person. There's quite a bit down here. I've got most of it on ultra. There's no DLSS at the moment. I'm sure that will come post-launch. There is an option up here actually, which is legacy camera. Let me show you what that is. Rather than having full control over the camera by using the right analog, if you hold the right analog down, it sort of goes to certain presets around the truck. It's not much different, it's just got points that it sort of focuses on, and it's certainly not as controllable as the default, but there might be something in it that you like, or a position in the camera that you like, but there is legacy camera options if you wish to use them. If you are using a steering wheel, it looks like there's loads of options for you. I've always preferred this game with a controller. There are Logitech, Thrustmaster, and Fanatec presets as well, so all of the main wheels should work with the game. Thank you very much for watching and visiting the GametechUK channel. There's lots of expeditions and MudRunner game here on the channel, as there is SnowRunner and everything else. Thank you very much, and I will see you in the next one.